Hello and welcome back to another video. I am down Chesil Beach. It is a Friday afternoon, just gone 3:30. Actually a special weekend for me. Well, I say special. It's my birthday this weekend, so I've actually booked off a day off work today. I had my eye on the weather, hopefully to try and get out on the boat. I really wanted to hit some offshore marks, do some more tote fishing. There were some wrecks I had my eyes on. But last night I was looking at it and it just didn't add up. The wind was a little bit too strong. It could have been done, but it wouldn't have been comfortable. I thought, well, where else can I go? Got a day off work. I want to do some fishing. I want to try and get into some bigger fish. Chesil. I've just got down. I've set one rod up. I've just done the walk, the Abbotsbury walk, which if you've done it before and if you know the beach, you'll know what I mean. Set up my tent. Got most of my gear out. I was just about to set up the other rod. I've noticed a load of birds working really close inshore, so I have brought my spinning rod and some lures and stuff, so I might have a go for some fresh mackerel before I get my second rod out. The target for today, I'm going to be fishing it, fishing the flood all the way up until about 11 o'clock at night tonight, really targeting smooth hounds and rays. That's what I really want. So I've got a pulley pennel rig which I'm going to be chucking out with some squid. In fact, that's out right now. And then I've got a 2-hook flapper rig with just some size 1 hooks, which will be my kind of scratching rig. I'm trying to pick out maybe some small rays, bream if they're about, whatever's out there. In terms of bait, I've got sand eel, mackerel and squid. Yeah, let's get to it. And in fact, if you want to know the secret spot that only the top fishermen know of, and only the top fishermen will share with each other, you need to look out for the collapsed gazebo. It's a spot to know. I will try and get that back to the car. And get it in a bin on the way back, because that shouldn't be left out on the beach. Right, well, I've just brought my first bait up, which has been in the water for probably 15 minutes maybe or so, and it was a whole squid, and it has been touched. As you can see, that's the bottom hook of the pennel rig hanging out, and there's the top. That has been munched, and I'm pretty certain I know what the culprit would have been. Spider crabs, which I'm hoping I'm not going to be plagued by too much into the rest of the evening. It is pretty much coming onto slack tide, so I'm not actually going to waste too many baits right now. I'll put one out just to keep it kind of, keep it churning away, but I'll wait for the tide to pick up. I am here to fish the flood, and that's what I'm going to concentrate on. So I'll stick one out. It'll probably get chewed up. Who knows? Something might pick it up in the meantime. But as soon as that tide picks up again, hopefully it'll keep the crabs off it, and we'll find some fish. That's the plan anyway. I can still see those birds diving over there. I did have a couple flicks with with some feathers and a lure on the end, just 2 or 3 quick casts. I might get it back out there because there's a lot of bird activity. And some fresh mackerel. I mean, 1, catching fish if you get off the scoreboard, and 2, obviously it makes amazing bait. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. We might chuck one out. Well guys, I don't know if you can see that on the right hand rod, the small scratching rig with a tiny bit of squid tentacles seems to potentially have done the job. I'm getting some very tapping bites on it. Look like it could have been a bream bite. Look very breamish. Keep an eye on that. Could be a fish on the end of there. Yeah, I'm going to check that one. Let's check that out, guys. Oh, what an absolutely stunning little fish. First fish of the day is the smallest smooth hound I've definitely ever caught and probably I've ever seen. Perfectly lip hooked. That was literally on, I'm not sure if you can see, a tiny little bit of squid tentacle. I mentioned earlier I want to try and keep it off the surface and away from the crabs and just in a little bit of tide. And I thought it was a little bream because it was quite a sharp bite, which makes sense. But look at that! What a gorgeous little fish! Amazing. I'll get him back quick, but what a great start. He's not a giant, but almost just as special to see something just. I mean, he is. I don't know how big they are when they're born, but he cannot be that old. He is tiny, and he's full of life. So I'm getting him back in. Amazing start. I'll try and get him back on an incoming wave. I don't want to lob him hard. He's in little. In he goes. Make sure he's gone back. Yeah, I think we're good. Chuff with that. Oh, cracking little fish. Just to give a quick show on what I caught that on, but I'm not even going to bother rebaiting it because it's still good to go. That is just a size 1 Aberdeen hook, and it's just a little offcut of a tentacle. I used the whole squid body on my pulley pennel, and the tentacles, which obviously on a squid you get a lot of them. So there's a lot of bait, and to catch fish, to catch anything off any bait is good. But you know, I don't really want to waste that, and I'm very much about keeping it simple, stupid, the KISS method. All my rigs, anything, I like to keep it as minimal. And I'm not a tackle tart. I would definitely say I'm not a tackle tart. You know, I don't, most of my, you know, my lure fishing, I don't really use shock leaders. Keeping my rigs, my tackle, everything as minimal, as simple, as easy as possible is always my go-to. And that is just a simple hook and a tiny bit of tentacle. That's catching me fish, so I'm chuffed. Anyway, getting this back in the water and see if we can do it again. And maybe a bigger one. A bigger one would be nice, but that's what the pulley pennel's there for. Bite, guys. A little scratch and rig. And the mackerel without diving right here. I'm gonna have to get that lure in. First cast, genuinely, straight into the mackerel. This is why people come to Chesil. When it's on, and it is insanely good fun. Woo, right. Let's put a chest strap on, or my head strap, and we'll bring you down, see if we can get some mackerel on camera. Right, let's go see if we can't find some more. Those rods are set on a real light drag, so they should be fine. There's a fair bit of weed out there though, which has gathered on the line, but I don't mind, especially if we're catching fish. I just hope they weren't passing through. And they've gone through already. Right, nice big lob out there. Oh, lovely. Let it sink a little bit. A nice easy retrieve. Feel that rod jiggle. I can see the birds diving back down there again, but I'm not going to walk all the way down there for them. I don't need to. I brought a few frozen mackerel with me, and I've got obviously one fresh one now. Oh, fish on. Oh, I think he's come off. He come off? Yeah, he just came off in the surf. Damn. Let's try again. That was quite close in. They're literally on the back of these breaking waves, it feels. They're really, really tight in. Woo! Keep an eye on my rods back up top. I can see the bird circling my bait as well. Alright, couple more casts and then we'll go back up, check the rods. Alright, that's enough fun for now. Tell you what, that jig, that metal lure has caught some fish this year off the boat, I tell you that. Alright, well that was some good fun. One mackerel caught, which is good, and one lost in the surf, which is what it is. But I'll keep an eye on that because I think later on towards dusk, it's normally a real good time for the mackerel. I've got something going on with these rods here. I'm gonna have to bring these in and check them. So I'm out of breath because the shingle's hard to walk on, especially Chesil, as I'm sure a lot of you know. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that, just in case we can pick up some more mackerel later on. That's encouraging. Hopefully, it might mean we have some bass patrolling later tonight. And I'll chuck out a big chunk of mackerel, see if we can't find one. That would be good, hunting down that mackerel. Let's see. Anyway, let's bring these rods in. They're doing all sorts. Let's see if we haven't got something on it again. Okay, first up It's the tentacle rod. Oh, there's a lot of weed on it, that's for sure. I don't feel any fish on it. The weight I can feel is that weed, but oh, I think we do have a fish. I feel something tugging. Yeah, we have. I think we have another little mackerel. Must have taken the bait as it passed through. There we go. All that faffing around with the lure, my beach rods are doing the business. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. God, these fish are getting beautifully hooked. There we go, mackerel number 2. So I did end up bagging 2 in the end. And yeah, again, that was just on a little bit of squid tentacle rig. Anyway, I'll put him out with his misery and he'll come in handy later tonight, hopefully. Oh, I tell you what, these are the days I love. This is why I love fishing. I've been here, I don't even know how long. What time did I say I got here? 4 o'clock is when I set up and everything was kind of good and going. It is now 4:49. So in the space of 45-50 minutes, I've had not insane fish, but it's just good fun fishing. Mackerel, which is, you know, good fun to catch, especially on the light spinning rod. That was good fun. And then obviously a little smooth hound to kick the session off. And this is during like slack. This is when I thought it would not fish well. So if this is setting the pace and what to expect later tonight, I'm buzzing. These are the days you really, really hope for. Saying that, I've had another bite. I've got another bite on the right hand rod, which has been in for a couple of minutes. Let's go check that, shall we? What do we think is the culprit causing those little taps on that rod? There they are. Well, again, what I thought were bream bites are definitely not. We have got another tiny little baby smooth on. This one's even smaller than the first one we had. Honestly, as soon as I put those little bit of squid in the water, these things are just on them, like no one's business. Really nicely hooked again. Look at that. Absolutely tiny little starry smooth hound. Amazing. What an amazing little creature. Hopefully he's going to be, he'll grow up to be a nice big double figure one day. And I'll see you again. Let's get him back. Right, well I just pulled in that pulley pedal rig. And this has been out here for probably about half an hour. Whilst all that madness was going on with the mackerel and everything else, this was just left sitting out there to see what would happen. And unsurprisingly, it is bare. It is stripped clean, which no doubt is the crabs. But this has probably been out here with no bait on it for quite some time, but obviously we were catching fish other ways. But I'm going to get this rebaited with another whole squid, saving the tentacles of course, I'm not going to waste those. We'll get this back out there, and now it's just gone 5 o'clock, so a bit more tide should be kicking off now. Hopefully it means the crabs are a little less of an issue, and we'll find something on this. I do want some either big rays, some bigger smooth hounds, or something, but we'll see. We're still having fun regardless. Well, not gonna lie guys, just rebaiting that last rig when we got the little baby smooth hound, and I had a big pull down on the other rod on the big squid rig with the pulley pennel, and I thought, oh, this is a ray bite. Reeling it in, you know, big heavy weight, something it got trapped in the surf, really like stuck down. I was like, this feels like a ray all day long. Anyway, got it out of the surf, got it up the beach. It's a plastic bag, guys. It's actually a plastic bag. It's the first bit of action I've had on that pulley pennel rig. Oh well, it's a bit more rubbish out to sea, so I'll do my bit there and I will take that off the rig and we'll take it to a bin. But yeah, that was a flash of excitement then. I thought I was into something big. The bag must have just like filled up with water as I was reeling it in, so it felt like a really huge weight. And obviously with the surf and the tide, it started to like dig and pull. I was like, it genuinely felt like a fish. If you ever after a kick down at your favourite mark and the fishing's dead, just tie a plastic bag to your rig, cast it out and pretend it's a fish. Right, plastic bag's there. Don't judge guys. I am counting that as a third species caught today. Adding it to the tally. It's a PB as well for me. Right, well I wondered when these guys would show up. There we have our third. Oh, I thought that was a run on the other rig then. Our third or fourth, if you count the plastic bag, species of the day. It's running a little bit. Yeah, a lovely little bream. Again, beautifully lip hooked. There we go, off he is. A little bit small, this guy's going to be going back for sure. But there we go. Lovely black sea bream. Great session, and it's only 6 o'clock, 2 hours in. Love it. Right, let's try and get him back without getting spiked. Oh, this fishing's non-stop. I'm shattered already. In a really, really good way though. It's just constantly bites. You know, every cast is pretty much a fish. But there is a lesson in this, especially for me as well, because I'm definitely guilty of doing this. In coming to the beach, or even off the boat, putting the biggest hook, the biggest bait, in search of the dream fish. All my fish today have been to, obviously, a size 1 hook, to that tiny little squid tentacle. And I've caught all the fish that I've got, apart from the one I had on the mackerel that I had on the spinning setup. Another bite, I think the bream are in numbers here now, because that's rattling away. But anyway, all the fish that I've had have been off probably 6 separate tentacles. So 1 squid's worth of bait has done me the last however many, hour and a half's worth of fishing. And 3 different species, smooth hounds, bream and mackerel. So we all know how expensive bait is and how difficult it can be lugging all your bait, your gear, every different approach tactic that you feel you want to take down. And I've brought down, trust me, I've brought the kitchen sink down 100%. I've got my wagon there full of all my gear. I like to bring, for longer sessions like this though, I do like to bring down, you know, all my creature comforts, everything that I might need. You know, I was keen to bring down my spinning rod just in case the mackerel came into shore. I've got, you know, a few different things, but there is a trick to getting it right and you know, fishing light if you want to. I'm gonna make some dinner in a minute actually. I've got a little bit of a birthday cook-up treat. We are having steak for dinner with flatbread and tzatziki. So looking forward to that. And if I get a bit of respite from this from these fish, we'll get the pan on the go and try and get some grub with me before darkness sets, and we can hopefully start landing into some of the rays. Beautiful July summer's day. Temperature is gorgeous, scenery is stunning, the fishing's amazing. Yeah, this is living. I've changed up the pulley pennel rig now. I've taken the squid off and we've gone with some of that fresh mackerel. I mean, mackerel bait at its, you know, straight out of the box, literally straight out of the sea, at its very freshest is amongst the best bait that you can get. So I didn't want to waste that opportunity. So I flung that out on the pulley pennel. Might see if we can get a conger, bass, any bass floating around. Obviously lots of stuff will take mackerel, so we'll see what we can find on that. And I'm going to switch up the other rig that we had going, the little 2-hook flapper. I'm going to stick one with the tentacle still, of this little bit of squid, but I'm going to put a bit of sand eel on the other one. And I think I mean it's now 7 o'clock, bites have started to slow down a little bit actually, which is a little bit surprising because over slack is when it fished best. Which, you know, just fishing sometimes, I guess. So yeah, we're going to switch it up a little bit and see if we can't find something now. It's you know, starting to approach dusk. I've got a single sand eel, just with a little bit of bait elastic whipped onto a 1/0 hook, and then on the other hook a little bit of tentacle that we've been using all afternoon. So I know that will catch me fish because it's been doing the business all afternoon, and I know that will catch me fish because it's what Tom Bagnall does most of the time off Southbourne when he's looking for rays. Small bit of sand eel bait, off we go. Let's see what it does for us. What? You didn't think I'd forgot dessert, did you? My birthday this weekend, going all out. Well, something certainly likes that sand eel. I just had a cracking bite on the that 2-hook flapper rig with the sand eel on. It's only been in for about 10-15 minutes. Really big diving bite, and I reeled it in. I felt something, but it came off, whatever it was. But the sand eel's come back in, basically chopped in half. So it's been in something's mouth. So we'll get another one back on there. I'm tempted to go for 2 sand eel on here, but I'm going to chuck this out because this has still got a bit more life in it. This little bit of squid, and we'll put the sand eel on. We'll see if we can't find out what that was. I'm intrigued. As the evening drew in, the bite started to slow down, and frustratingly, the only thing I was able to reel in was huge clumps of weed. Fortunately, however, something down the shoreline began to lift my spirits. Okay, well, we're approaching dusk, and I said around this time I was going to give it another go for some mackerel, and the birds have just kicked off again. And they're working all across the shoreline, so I can see a lot of people sprinting to their spinning rods to see if they can get any last minute mackerel. And I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to grab my rod, get down to the shoreline and have a few flicks. Check this out, guys. This is what they're after. They're just pushing up the bait fish right onto the shore. But it is alive with them. Look at that. Right, let's get a few casts in here. It's a very good sign that there's some predatory fish out there. Oh, that was a bite. Definitely out there. Oh, yep, fish on, guys, fish on. Yeah, let's go. Awesome. There he is. Little mackerel. He escaped. He slid all the way back down the bank. Oh no. I'm never going to live that down. Oh God. Alright, let's get another one. I need to put this down for a second and check these rods because I can see them dancing around. I think one of my legs has come loose, or a fish has taken it. I can't joke really. Oh no, I hope my lines haven't got twisted. I see a fish. I've definitely caught my other line, but there's a fish on it. Alright, let's try and sort this mess out. Oh yeah, I see the culprit. Slimy little eel. Well, buzzing with that. So in that madness, I pulled up my rig, there was a fish on it, and I picked up myself a little silver eel. I thought it was a little tiny bootlace conger, but actually upon inspection, it's a silver eel, which is my only second ever one caught. Obviously they're a bit more rare than, well, I find they're a bit more rare than conger, or strap and bootlace eels. So yeah, chuffed with that. Not a species I did expect to pick up, but that was just taken on sand eel. And yeah, another one for the day. Awesome. So with all that fun, my focus was on spinning for mackerel, which was worth it, I don't regret it. However, the almightiest of bits of weed has obviously gone through my lines and did tangle them up. So now I'm left with this mess to try and sort out. I've only probably got another hour and 45 minutes worth of fishing, because I want to fish till about 11 p.m, half 11. Top of the tide is half 11. So I was going to fish it up till then and head home. It's about an hour drive for me to get back. So yeah, I need to get this done as quickly as I can, get some lines back in the water, and the next hour and a half to 2 hours is fully focusing on these rigs and trying to catch some more fish. Okay, so I finally managed to get those rigs detangled. In fact, I didn't detangle them in the end. I ended up having to just cut the lines, retie the clips back on, get some new rigs and redo the whole thing, because they were completely tangled. Not only were the rigs tangled, but by the time I actually got the lines all up and ashore, all the lines were crisscrossed, and yeah, there was a bunch of weed in the middle of one of my lines, which had just tangled up the line in the middle of the braid, completely away from the rigs. So it was an absolute mess. I've had to cut. I've got both rods, well, had both rods back in the water, one sat in there now, and I've just brought one back in to, oh, there was actually a bite, and I thought, oh, okay, here we go. So a whole new bunch of weed, but the fishing has gone quiet again. It's died off a little bit, which is surprising. I did think the evening would be when I would be fishing it best, but there we go. Anyway, we've got an hour and 15 left until this tide dies out, and it's time to go home. But I'm optimistic still. We'll make it happen, I'm sure. There we go. Another species for the day. A dogfish. I'm actually quite pleased to see. And we haven't caught one today, so that is now another... How many species are we on? 5? Mackerel, bream, smooth hound, dogfish, and the silver eel. 5, yeah, so 5 species. Not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. It gave a cracking bite, actually. I did think it was another little smooth hound at first, the way it took the line. There we go. I think it's a pregnant one as well. I caught a pregnant one not too long ago. Oh, without her, it's just eaten. But yeah, there we go. About to vomit little dogfish. Let's get him back. That's a bite, guys. I think we've got ourselves another little smoothie. No, we don't. It's a dogfish. There we go. I thought it was a smoothie at first, got my hopes up, but just another little dogfish. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop with the mackerel baits, because I've been using mackerel baits for the last hour and they've been attracting the dogfish, which is pretty typical actually. I'm going to switch back over to squid, see if we can try and lure some of those smooth hounds out again, because that's what I really would like to finish on, a decent smooth hound or ray. Smooth hound or ray, that's the whole reason I'm here. Target species. We've already hit the target of smooth hound technically. But yeah, let's switch back to squid and we'll see if that fares us any better. Well, there we go. Mr. Conger eel has joined the party. I've lost count now how many species that is. I think we're on 6 or 7. Cracking. I thought we already had a conger on the list, but obviously it was a silver eel earlier. But now we've got him. We found him. Tiny little one, of course, but great to see. And yeah, another one to tick off the list. And this, as the plan was, to try and get away from the dogfish, went from mackerel to squid. This is the squid bait, and we're a different species. Awesome. Let's get him back. Still time for more fish. So I've got about 10-15 minutes until I'm heading home. The shelter's already packed up, that's in the wagon. Everything pretty much is tidied away and ready to go back for the Abbotsbury walk, which I'm sure you all know of. I've just got 2 rods left in, my 2 rods, both with the baits as before, to see if anything else is, if Chesil has anything else up its sleeve for me. But yeah, amazing session. I'm just sat really kind of taking it all in now. Just Chesil itself, it's an insane place to be. I'm looking up at the stars. It's completely clear sky, unbelievable skyline and stars. I'll put some photos in now to show you what I'm seeing. But it's just an amazing place, Chesil. It's an 18-mile long stretch of just nothingness and barrenness, but at the same time it's full of life. When you obviously look in the sea. The next time you'll probably see me down here actually is going to be in September, where I'm bringing 3 of my friends down with me. And we're doing 2 nights, 3 days, 72 hours in total, fishing Chesil. We have an apartment just down further up the beach, further up Chesil. And it's going to be an interesting video, I think, and a very exciting adventure. It's going to be September, so cod should be in then, or the codling should be in Chesil. There'll be lots and lots of fish for us to target. One of my friends is a carp fisherman. 2 others, the other 2 are complete novices when it comes to fishing, so it's going to be an interesting bunch to have down on Chesil, and I'm very excited for it. So do keep your eyes peeled for that one. Anyway, I'm going to soak up the rest of Chesil, listen to the waves, hope my rods go off one last time, and then we're going to be packing up. Well, if we hadn't been sport enough already, there's now an insane moonrise happening behind me. Again, I'll chuck some photos in to try and get a better glimpse of it, but just gorgeous, amazing. And that was it for my Chesil session. A beach that has still decided to be kind to me, for now. Stick around for more fishy content and of course, the big trip in September. Bye for now.